Hello everyone, it's Annie and I'm here with a pretty large book haul. Okay, let's call this my summer slash birthday book haul. I have bought a lot of secondhand books and I don't know, I've just treated myself a little bit. And I've been moving, which is why I have been away for a little while from my YouTube channel, but I really missed making videos, so I am back for the time being. And I do have quite a lot of books to show you. All right, so let's get started. All right, so I'm going to start with the books that I bought for full price. And first, I want to show Deep as the Sky, Red as the Sea, which was one of my favorite books that I've read this year. This is my favorite book of May, and it was so good that I ran to Barnes & Noble the day of its release date to buy it. This was an amazing historical fiction with a smidge of fantasy thrown in about a 18th century, let me see, it actually doesn't say, it's just a legendary Chinese pirate queen, basically, and she is so ruthless, so cold-blooded, and I just loved her character so much. I loved this book. I think it deserves way more hype than it's getting, and it's just amazing, and it's also gorgeous, and you should read it. And then also from Barnes & Noble, I bought The Warrior Girl Unearthed by Angeline Boulley. It was $2 off, and it's the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So that means it has these really pretty end papers and also this cool thing on the cover. I don't know what that is it a ferret? And it just looks really good. Okay, I read The Firekeeper's Daughter by this author, and I didn't love it. I rated it a 3. But I think this one is more up my alley, and this one is also getting really good reviews. It's about kind of stealing back artifacts from a museum, I believe. It follows Perry Firekeeper Birch. The already striking number of missing Indigenous women continues to rise as her family becomes embroiled in a high-profile murder investigation, and as the greedy grave robbers seek to profit off what belongs to her Anishinaabe tribe. Yeah, so this just seems really interesting. It seems like a really cool mystery, and I got it for $2 off, and I couldn't leave it there. And then I got Translation State by Ann Leckie. This was actually a birthday gift from my sister, because this was my most anticipated book of the whole entire year. I did read it, but you have to watch my June wrap-up to hear my thoughts, but safe to say I really loved it. All right, this was an amazing book. Definitely worth the wait from Ann Leckie. Ann Leckie hadn't published a book since, I believe, 2017 with Raven's Tower, and it's been a while, and this was amazing. It's such an amazing space opera, and Ann Leckie is really a master at world building and just creating such interesting non-human species and human cultures that live in different parts of the universe, and the characters were just so amazing. I love this book. Okay, but more thoughts in my June wrap-up, but this is also super gorgeous. At first I wasn't sure about the cover, but it's definitely grown on me and I really love it. All right, and then I went to Kinokuniya with my girlfriend, and because I loved Breasts and Eggs so much when I read it last year for the Found in Translation book club in January, I rated it 5 stars. This was an amazing exploration of Japanese women in Japanese society and just how they're treated. This is an amazing book by Mieko Kawakami. She is an amazing Japanese author, and she has a lot of her books in translation for a good reason. Her work should not be missed, and this is her best, I believe. And then I bought The Shattered Lands by Brenna Nation, and I got the Waterstone signed by the author edition. Thank you, Brenna. I'm friends with Brenna, and I still haven't read this. I'm really sorry. I've been really busy. But I bought this, and I do love the cover. This is a kind of new adult, although I believe it is billed as YA, sapphic fantasy book about a witch and a princess, and I've just, I've been friends with Brenda and I followed her on TikTok, and I can't wait to read this, and I'm really happy to own a signed copy. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about all the books that I got secondhand from shopqueer.co. They were running a huge sale. Everything was like 40–50% off, so I bought a lot of books, okay? And I definitely recommend you check them out. They sent me that free tote bag with the books, which is awesome. So these are the books I got from there. So first, I got Feed Them Silence by Lee Mandela, which is also one of my favorite books I've read this year. And I got the signed version. Whoa! I got the signed version with a signed book plate. Oh, they sent me little stickers. That's so cute. Read queer books, yes. This is such an amazing little novella. If you like, I don't know, just really strange sapphic books, this is about a scientist who kind of puts her brain into a wolf. She has like a neurological connection with this wolf that she's studying. She's studying the last wild pack of wolves, and it is so interesting. Okay, I don't know what Lee Mandela's brain, how that works, but this is a great book. Okay, it's very weird, but it just worked for me. It really worked. And then I bought another novella, Into the Riverlands by Nhi-Vo, which of course is Nhi-Vo's amazing Singing Hill Cycle series, volume 3. And yeah, I hadn't bought it before now. I don't know why, but I finally bought it. I am a little annoyed because the first 2 books in the Singing Hill Cycle were only available in paperback. And this is only available in hardback. So I had been waiting for the paperback, but it doesn't look like a paperback version is going to be ever released. So I'm kind of annoyed at Tor for that, but it's fine. It's worth it. Okay, even though my set doesn't match, it's okay because the Singing Hill Cycle is one of my favorite novella series ever. And I really can't wait to buy the 4th one, which is Mammoth at the Gate, when it comes out in September. Another novella, In the Watchful City. This one is also signed with a book plate. This is a queer steam biopunk novella, which had been on my radar for quite some time. It follows a non-binary protagonist, which is why I was really interested in it in the first place. It follows Anima, who is an extrasensory human tasked with surveilling and protecting auras, the city's citizens, via a complex living network called the Gleaming. Okay, so sounds really interesting. I'm always a sucker for queer sci-fi Tor novellas, so when I saw this, it was for sale and it was a signed version, I was just like, just give me it and I'll read it. And then I finally bought one of my favorite YA sapphic books of all time, The Stars and the Blackness Between Them. Okay, this is a book that I have raved about in the past. I read it a couple years ago now. This is one of the most heart-wrenching YA books. It's a contemporary with a tiny smidgen of magical realism at the end, and it's really sad. It's about these 2 girls falling in love after one is sent from her home country to America after being caught with a girl, and then she falls in love with a girl in America, and it's so good. And I really strongly believe that it deserves more hype. Okay, this is one of the best books I've ever read. Definitely one of my favorites, and I'm very glad to finally own it. And then another underrated sapphic book that I didn't own and needed to is Dauntless, which is a Filipino-inspired YA fantasy book. And just look at this cover. This cover is everything. I love it so much. I had given this book 5 stars when it came out, and like, it really is flying under the radar. There's like, I see no one reading this on Booktube, and you guys really need to. Like, please don't sleep on this book. It's amazing, okay? It is a, again, Filipino-inspired YA fantasy, but it's just so much more than that. It has amazing world building. There are these creatures in the jungle that the main character has been trained to hunt and kill, but then she meets the love interest and she realizes that maybe they're the wrong ones for killing these creatures and maybe they should just try and understand them. and it's just so good, okay? Everything about it is amazing, and I'm very, very happy to own this. The last book I got from shopqueer.co is The Darkness Outside Us, which is a book that I have been meaning to read for quite some time. It is a male gay YA. Yes, this is a YA romance sci-fi book. And it's about two boys getting stuck on a ship in space together. So it says, two boys alone in space, sworn enemies sent on the same rescue mission. So we do love a good enemies to lovers book. All right, Ambrose wakes up on the coordinated endeavor with no memory of a launch. There's more that doesn't add up. Evidence indicates strangers have been on board. The ship's operating system is voiced by his mother, and his handsome, brooding shipmate has barricaded himself away. But nothing will stop Ambrose from making his mission succeed, not when he's rescuing his own sister. Very interesting stuff. So I've heard really good things about this, but also a little bit of mixed things. So it was so cheap. It was like $6. I was like, you know what the heck? It's been on my radar for so long. I'll just buy it and give it a try. Now this next book I got from Second Sale, which my link for Second Sale is down in the description below. If you use my link, you get 10% off with my code, and I also get a little bit of something, so thank you for using my link. The Wolf of Oreñado, which is such an amazing Filipino-inspired fantasy. This really took me by surprise. It's called The Chronicles of the Bitch Queen. That's the series title. And I love this book. It's a solid 5 stars, okay? This was such a great political fantasy. If you like books like The Poppy War, if you like Emma Wong's, what is it called? The Sword of Kaigen, you would really love this book. It is amazing. It's really, really good. The character is just someone who you root for, even when she does stupid things or things that you don't agree with. You just really root for her, and she's enjoyable to follow. And the politics of this world, the world building, are just so interesting and intriguing. This is definitely one of my favorite fantasies, and I'm hoping one of my favorite books of the year. All right, last book of this haul I got at my library's little used bookshop for $1. Payback's a Witch by Lena Harper. This is a witchy sapphic romance, okay? So Emmy Harlow is a witch, but not a very powerful one, in part because she hasn't been home to the magical town of Thistle Grove in years. Her self-imposed exile has a lot to do with a complicated family history and a desire to forge her own way in the world, and only the very tiniest bit to do with Gareth, heir to the most powerful magical family in town and casual breaker of hearts. Interesting. On her first night home, Emmy runs into Talia, an all-around badass adept in the darker magical arts, who is fresh off of a bad breakup with Gareth. Talia had let herself be charmed, only to discover that Gareth was also seeing Lyndon, unbeknownst to either of them. And now she and Lyndon want revenge. The only question stands, is Emmy in? But then, of course, Emmy can't stop thinking about the terrifyingly competent, devastatingly gorgeous, and charming Talia. So it's kind of like John Harper Must Die, I think that's the name of the book, movie, except it turns sapphic in the end, which that movie definitely should have. And it's about witches. I don't know, it just sounds cool. I know I've kind of missed the hype around this book. Like, it was really, really popular when it came out in, I think, 2021. And I didn't read it then. But it was so cheap at my library's shops. I was like, you know what? I'll snag this because it's sapphic and I don't need any other reason. All right, so that is it for this book haul. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely check out my Second Sale link and also shopqueer.co. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I just think that they're a really cool online shop for buying books. And thank you so much. If you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos. I'll see you next time. Bye.